Hello, my name is Olivia Garcia and I go to Colorado Christian University, and today I will be speaking to you about just self-regulated learning strategies, how they're applicable to new knowledge, and how the cognitive mind or memory is affected when it comes to self-regulation. So the first question is select and discuss the most efficient self-regulated learning strategy. For example, self-efficiency beliefs that will enable you to construct new knowledge. This is a great question because I find that the goal of most types of therapy is to improve an individual's ability to self-regulate and to gain or regain a sense of control over one's behavior and life. So for me personally, I feel like my beliefs are very regulatory for me, especially in the sense of applying them to everyday circumstances. For example, if I have an encounter at work that crosses a line or a boundary that I have set up for my personal beliefs, I feel that I am able to regulate and not feel, I guess the word would be guilty or conviction, because I stand and I choose to stand by what I believe. Therefore, my conscious and my memory and the things that I have implemented because of experience are not affected, or they trigger that perspective in my mindset. Another thing that kind of stood out to me was behavioral self-regulation is the ability to act on your long-term best interest consistent with your deepest values, which is really interesting to me, as I truly believe that our deepest values shape who we are, therefore are a huge factor in how our cognitive memory works within the confines of regulation. So I just find that really unique and really interesting. The next question was select and discuss the most efficient self-regulated learning strategy. This was a huge question that I had to take some time and think about, because I wasn't really sure how to answer this for myself, and a lot of these classes really cause self-reflection first before you can really answer, and it's funny because I find that rehearsal in a interesting way really is a large part of my self-regulation. For example, if I am trying to remember something, or if I am trying to replay an instance that will bring forth more truth to the experience, I will often rehearse what happened, or what is going to happen, or what my hope is that would happen, before I engage in any sort of interaction, which is cool. I didn't realize that I did that until recently. So that was also interesting to me. The next question is select and discuss the most efficient self-regulated learning strategies that will enable you to transfer new knowledge to contexts. I obviously believe that the mental strategy is huge for me personally, as I often dig into or try to imply the most effective strategy that I can by using the best of circumstances, whatever I can come up with, the information that is available to me, and then I apply that to what I'm experiencing in that moment, with grace to the fact that I, use efficient regulated learning to kind of shape what that looks like. So I would definitely say that the imaginary, mental imaginary side of my brain often it implements what that looks like long term for me, if that makes sense. Anyway, the next question is, reflect on how you may benefit, how this may benefit in your professional life. So my hope and my dream is to become a licensed therapist. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like or how that will apply to who I work with. However, I do think that having a really good sense of self-regulation will help me help others. I can see this being an issue in the sense of taking home other people's weighted issues in their daily lives. I think it's really important that I develop some sort of self-regulated patterns to help me not feel yoked by their burdens without an unbiblical perspective, if that makes sense. I want to work to bring home just what's necessary and leave at work what needs to be left there. Speaking spiritually, of course. However, I do find that having my own personal way of self-regulating, I can teach or lead or guide somebody into the perspective of what that looks like, and how am I, implementing that in my professional world, in my professional life when I move forward after school. If I think about what that looks like now, I realize that self-care is a huge part of self-regulation for me. I look forward to a routine and a time that is specifically meant for taking care of me, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So I really value that as well, which I would probably try to implement in my regular life outside of what I do professionally. For example, if it is to go on a hike, or if it is to explore a new world, for example, going overseas, or if it is just simply doing a new skincare routine, or taking 20 minutes of time alone every day where I can really reflect on my thoughts, or even implementing my own personal therapist. Those are all things leading toward regulating my emotions, regulating stress in my life, regulating how I feel and how I think about myself. So anyway, that was what I've learned. I was really grateful for all the reading materials this week. Yeah, thank you so much.